Oh, there we go. I was like, this black screen's lasting for a long time. So, yeah, I suppose I should have expected some credits. It is the end. Oh. Apparently we're going to get some artwork, which is much better than a lot of the stuff they've had, which is like a blank screen. Or showing the things that have happened thus far, which I actually do kind of like. Anyways, not important. There will be more after this, I'm sure. I suppose they might be putting off on finding this beacon till 5.0. Because I suppose if we find the thing that will allow us to continue, that isn't really indicative of ending the story here. So I suppose they're going to end it with, we will find a way to get to the beacon. And then by the time 5.0 comes around in June, July, it'll be like, haha, we found a way, now let us go and do it. But, as you will have possibly noticed, the quests did not have a quest finish marker. Meaning that there's definitely something else. Also, this is like really nice artwork. Who's next? Someone Alan Egan? I think we've seen, I mean, I suppose it could be Yotsuyu. Yep, Yotsuyu. I wonder if the next one could be Suyu. Because technically they're different characters. Then I suppose we've also got Asahi. I'm trying to think of like who are the Alamegan characters. No, who are the Dorman characters before they get to the Alamegan. Oh, the enigmatic figure. Oh, that's nice. I like that artwork. Now, enigmatic figure, is that going to be the person that we met who isn't Graha Tia at all? Literally everyone thinks it's Graha. It also, the model does look similar to him upon actually seeing it in game. Black screen. Oh, now we get the black screen with the stuff in the background. Alright, fair enough. Ba 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 ba. As usual, yeah, I could totally skip this credit sequence, but I'm not gonna. Right. This is the point where I need to go over the whole story. Is the breeze that can set a petal free, and yet 'tis the storm that doth see the petal soar. I are the trees in the throes of liberty, till unstirring sighs consign them to memory. One kingdom's war is another kingdom's freedom. One sovereign's war is another sovereign's peace. One mother's pride is another mother's sorrow. Their tears both soak the land that they love. I do like this song, especially that part of it. Anywho, so yes. Comparing them. As always, I know it's unfair to say it, but yeah, as always, it's better than A Realm Reborn. A Realm Reborn story is good. Especially the 2.0 story. That's very solid story. The entire arc with Gaius is very well done. The bits after it are a bit more disjointed. And the whole Crystal Braves, that's pretty good, but Heavensward, still probably my favourite. The entire arc of that story, the way that rather than allies, a lot of the characters, pretty much all of the characters you meet, feel more like family than allies. Like, I mean, look at Estinian. Yeah, Estinian's gone off to do his own thing. He clearly wasn't. He was clearly watching us the entire time. And took that moment of our greatest weak point to jump in and save us. And the same way, Count Edmund immediately came to see us. Admittedly, we were in the city of Ishgard, so that makes sense. But it shows like a more caring side. Like, he is kind of like a father in a sense, and that's the way they've written it. And the whole Nidhogg thing, like that whole arc was just so good. Saying that, Stormblood isn't bad. In some ways, I feel like it was a little rushed in the main story for like 4.0. But each of the patches definitely added more and more. As you can see in the background, the whole Yotsuyu Suyu story was very well done. And the whole Fordola thing, I really like Fordola as a character. It's a shame she probably won't be coming back. Everyone hates Asahi. That's just fact. They did a really good job of just making someone wholly unlikable that you could have a crowd cheer watching his death scene. Ooh, thank you, Izzy. So, that was a really well done part. I actually really liked 4.5. It has a very good war aesthetic. And, like, it sort of gives you a little insight into what they could have done for the 1.x series with the Battle of Cardano. But I think that might be what they're trying to invoke. Thank you, Izzy. That's enough. So, I really like it for that. It's like really cool. And while it doesn't have the same, what's the right word for this? Not effect. It doesn't have the same like force behind it as, oh no, Nanamo's died and you're the one who killed her! Everyone get him! Oh, we're fleeing! Or, oh god, Havelimos sacrificed himself to stop the goddamn King of Dragons, the demon dragon thing. And the whole, like, there's always something bad that happens at the end. But as I said earlier, I actually think that them not killing someone off is good. Because, oh, I nearly forgot about that. We've got to get back to that. Because it's different. And the story doesn't have a sad turn, it's a exciting turn. It's like, woo, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. Rather than, ah, oh, that's sad. How are we going to get over this problem? But as they said several times, the light of hope is like, yeah, you've put that a bit too strong. I don't like the way that you're saying, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Don't think about bad things. Nothing bad's going to happen. Promise. Thumbs up. Going back to what I was about to say, the Azim Step was gold. Definitely one of the best parts of Stormblood was the Zela and to a lesser extent going further away, the Requiem. So like the aura in the Steps story was so good all the way through. Like from the start of 4.0 till now, every time we went back there, it was great. And I forgot I never talked about it. That reminded us, because that's where you get to play as Alphinaud. That they've said the reason that they did that was because there's a lot of story they can show that's happening while the Warrior of Light's not there. But this way, they can show a lot more, and it can be more interactive than just another cutscene showing Alphinaud fighting some Imperials, or your Stola fighting against Little Sun, or as we just saw, Hien against Xenos, which by the way was so good. They designed the skills for that so well. The dash in to get out of those mechanics quickly felt so satisfying. Ignore you guys, you're assholes. They designed it really well. He didn't have a big super duper mega attack or anything, but he didn't need to. I don't know, it's just a lot of the stuff is very good, and the design is generally really well done. But I don't want to bring this up in great detail, but yeah, he's totally gonna be a good guy somehow. I know he is. Anywho, I only want to briefly bring this up, that no, I'm not happy, like many people, over the choices for the Hrothgar and the Vera being male and female only. Hopefully one day you're watching this video in like 2 years time and you're like, what's he on about? They've got both genders. I don't like that it feels like a time constraint rather than, oh yes, we 100% only ever wanted this. Like for example, both Hrothgar and Vera, at release, they can't equip helmets because they just haven't finished the design on making all of them compatible yet. Which is fair enough. Admit that, that's fine. But I don't like the, for law reasons, there aren't any male Vera. And then they blank out why there isn't any female Hrothgar. Is that going to be for law reasons? Because in Final Fantasy X, there are female Hrothgar. We see them. So, well, sorry, Ronzo. They're totally different, even though in the first Hrothgar are called Ronzo. So, yeah. They've said that they're going to look into the feedback for it. The feedback is generally, we want all genders to be included, inclusive, whatever. But yeah, that's it. That was all I wanted to say on that, because I want to point out about how positively I view the way that this game is designed. There are so many things at its core that are so well done. Like, the battle system, well, it's nothing revolutionary. It's simple enough to get your head around and relatively fun. Like, there's a lot of things, like, for example, for me, with Summoner. Summoning Bahamut just feels great. Getting those death flares off just feels great. The giant sky pillar of death. Sky pillar, sky laser, whatever. It just feels good, and it has the right amount of satisfaction in it, which I'm very excited to see what we'll get in the future for the 5.x0 whatever skills. The story, incredibly well written. I could talk for days on how much I love the story of this game. And the whole world building and the way that it really does feel like a real world, not just you're playing a game. It feels like an active world. that is changing as you go through. It really makes me wonder how the story is going to end. Because yes, we all know it's an MMO. It has to keep stretching out. Which isn't a bad thing, because it is a very grand story. One of the best stories, in my opinion, in gaming. But that probably is because I look at it as a whole. If you look at the smaller parts, probably not the best writing in gaming. But that's just my opinion. Each to their own and whatnot. I can't really see how they're going to end the story. Because as an MMO, they need to keep people playing. But it has to end eventually. Because, well, same with 11 ended. And that was an MMO. Maybe I should look into how that ended. Might give us more insight. But yes, so basically, we know that going forward, the story predominantly for Shadowbringers is going to be taking place on the first shard. That we know, we can tell from the bits we've seen there and from the information they've revealed to us at FanFest. And it's very interesting because the aesthetic of the entire expansion seems to be around light and brightness and things like that, because so far things have been a little bit on the darker side. Like the Heavensward War, very dark. The continuous Garlean War in Stormblood, very dark. So we're going to a world that's been overtaken with light, with eternal day. And we have to become the warriors of darkness to fix it. Though I'm not entirely sure how. I don't think it's going to be a case of us doing an evil thing. I think it's going to be more along the lines of us defeating light-aligned things to address the balance. Not us going on a rampage and murdering people, because that would restore darkness. As much as they want to paint us as the warrior of darkness for Shadowbringers, I don't think that we're going to become villains. I am very interested though, because as I've said, Solace, I don't know, I get the feeling that they're painting him as a bit more villainous than makes sense, if that makes sense. I think, because I've saw people say this, and I don't know if there's any like in-game stuff that backs this up, so take it with a grain of salt, that basically there are 3 Ascians on the source, and basically one was for darkness, one was for balance, and one was for light. Solace is the Ascian of light, and I think in a way, because it mentioned that, I mean, we may not see each other in this lifetime, it's quite obvious that he's traveling to the first. So I have a feeling that he might in some way be helping us with the restoration of the darkness. I don't know. It just seems like after Asahi, they might be trying to throw people. Because Asahi was an arsehole. Like, through and through. So, I think they're painting Solace as an asshole for that reason. Because we sort of expect that. So they might be trying to circumvent expectations. Again, this is kind of all me just assuming things and guessing. I mean, I could be right. I was wrong about one thing though, which I never said at the start of the part 2 videos. I thought, which actually I'll get to that thought in a second, that we would be beating Xenos here. Because if you've seen the Shadowbringers trailer, you see us fighting against Xenos and besting him. Which, I mean, it could have been like a romanticized version of what just happened. But I have a feeling that we're going to beat Xenos, Elidibus, whatever. And then real Xenos, who's been suspiciously absent, is going to take over the body. I don't think he's going to be a villain. I really don't think that after all this it's just going to be, alright, now I'm a bad guy again. I think Xenos himself is a lot more complex than he shows, while also being quite a simplistic character. So that's my take on it, that I think he will get his body back. And I thought that the crossing of swords in the Shadowbringers trailer was going to be us having our rematch for the ages against Xenos. And the fact that in the newest version of the trailer, he takes a knee after the exchange means he isn't dead, we've just defeated him. I think that's going to be a haha, well done, warrior of light. But I don't think he's going to be like, I still want you dead. I think it's going to be one of those, I've made this comparison before. I think he's kind of going to become like the Vegeta of Dragon Ball Z, where he kind of hates us but doesn't really hate us. He likes us and he wants to be better than us, but likes the back and forth. He likes testing himself. I was like, yeah, he wants to beat us, but I don't think he'll want to kill us. I don't know. They could really take that character in any direction. Also, I have no idea how much longer these credits could take. And I've pretty much covered everything, I think. Let's see, what have I not covered? It's like I'm actually trying to remember what each of the patches were. I can't remember what 5.1 was. What if I work backwards? So, point 4 was where we went to the Azium Step and fought against Magni and I forget her name. Then 3 was with Yotsuyu. 2, I don't remember. Booga. I don't think the only primals that were introduced were Yotsuyu's primal. Huh. I'm just gonna grab my phone and look it up. No, I just realised it's not gonna help. If I look up the image for patch 4.1, it's just gonna show us the Omega range. Alright. Final Fantasy 14 patch 4.1. I mean, it's not a good sign when I literally just can't remember. So, the legend returns. Alright, let's look at the patch notes. Gotta be a hint there. Yeah, there was the introduction of the raids. Oh yeah, 4.1 was the whole thing with Arenvald and Lakshmi. Actually, that one was probably one of my favourite fights in, well, Stormblood. Maybe all of them. Not the entire game, obviously, but just in terms of the fight, it was a really fun solo fight. I like the idea that it wasn't just fighting, it was also defending the other people using the echo, which is not something we often actually use. Alright, 4.2 was Yotsuyu. That's not a good sign. What was 4.3? Literally just googling this and then looking at the patch notes. Wait, no, 4.3 was Yotsuyu. Because that's Under the Moonlight. Oh, right, yeah, 4.2 was where they introduced Asahi and the Popularis. Did anything special happen in 4.2? I don't know. But yeah, that means we've covered them all. So, I mean, even now that I know what they are, the story doesn't seem like groundbreaking. It was fun, yeah. But for side content though, Stormblood blew it out the water. The Omega raid was spectacular, especially towards the end. The inclusion of Midgard Soma actually having a character, rather than just generally being there. The fact that Alpha was there, Alpha was amazing. The story of Omega itself was actually pretty interesting. And kind of a sad end, with a little bit of hope that there's a chance that Omega might somehow be in OMG. Maybe. The Alliance, like the Evil East raids. What do I say about them? I mean, I like them. But I suppose they were more designed for someone who was a veteran of, well, tactics, more so. I mean, 12 is there with, like, Fran. But it was, like, more heavily inspired by the Tactics series, with little hints to the other games thrown in. I'm still a bit miffed that after the Alliance raid finished, they brought out a statue of Ultima. Like, why? It's such a flash in the pan character. In terms of, like, importance, potentially she had some relevance with the Ultima spell and the Heart of Sebek? Whatever. But literally it's like, oh no, the thing that's trying to get us is Ultima! Go get her! Because she's kidnapped someone. Oh, we've saved the person she kidnapped and then she kidnapped someone else instead. And then we go to fight her. I'm Ultima! Leave! Oh, you beat me. The end. Ultima's gone. Not deserving of a statue. No matter how much effort you put into the design. Because a lot of effort was put in the design. It's pretty cool, but not the best. I mean, like, of everything in 14, the transitionary period between Phase 1 and Phase 2 for Ultima might be my favourite. It is so cool. Like, incredibly so. But the fight itself is like any other raid fight. Or any other boss fight. Oh god, we're only up to Shanghai. I'm sure there's a button I can press to speed these up. But I don't want to accidentally skip. So we have to sit through them as I ramble. As usual, this is probably going to be its own video, isn't it? The credits is always its own separate video because of how long they go on and how much I waffle on. And then the last part's going to be really short. And it's going to totally mess up my editing. Like, god damn it. It's almost like you don't think of me specifically when you design this game. Won't someone think of just me? So, someone brought up an interesting point. I don't remember where, possibly on Reddit. About all of the areas, all the areas we've seen so far are from the first shard. Oh, the credits are nearly done. So a lot of people think, are the only new areas going to be from the shard and not in Eorzea? Interesting to think on. But I guess we'll see. As long as they're cool, I don't mind. Logo illustration 2016 Yoshitaka Amano. Come on, let's do this. Credits over. Oh god, they're not over yet. Alright, that's fair enough. Yes, Matsuno, guest creator for Return to Evolution and Interdimensional Rift. Brilliant. Monster Hunter, actually really good. That was a really good crossover. Oh yes, and we have the Final Fantasy XV crossover to look forward to. And something else comes out. I don't know what it is. Something else comes out before 5.0 and I don't know what it is. Oh, cool. The 15 crossover is already in. Which I suppose makes sense because the 14... Oh no, rather the 15 side of the crossover has already happened. I'm definitely excited for it. It's been data mined how Lalafell's ride the mount though, so I'm a little bit upset. It looks a bit stupid. Special thanks. These people. Ba ba ba. Do do. Ooh, Tetsuya Nomura. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. The Primals. Do 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 do. Ba ba dum bum bum. Ba ba dum ba ba dum bum bum bum. Ba ba dum bum 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 bum. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. Oh yeah, we still have our question mark reward to get, don't we? I wonder what that could be. Ba, 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 ba. These credits keep going, don't they? I don't want to start another conversation because as soon as I do, like I just did, I'd feel like it's about to end. Also, this is the special thanks, so I feel like this is the last thing that they add in. Right, I've got Razor. Misk. Don't know who that is. Oh, manga production. Is that the people behind the... I can't remember its name. The Final Fantasy manga that came out semi-recently. Which has a lot of allusions to 40 in it. Look, there's me! All Final Fantasy 14 players. That counts as me. Oh, I'm so excited. Yasuyu Matsuda, Mr. Headshot. Ugh. Boom! Headshot. Naoki Yoshida. Producer and director. Produced by Square Enix Co Limited. Come on, that's it. That's gotta be it. And credits over. God damn it! For our dear friend and colleague, Michael Sherlock. Is that it? Are you done? 3, 2, 1. Credits over. Yeah. And relax. Now we get the end.